You see it there, the Bears just tweeting out a picture of Andy Dalton in a Bears uniform and saying QB1. You see, Shefty sent it out there yesterday, but people are reacting about the way you would imagine people would be reacting to this. And let me turn to my Chicago friend from the Chicagoland area there, Joliet Rob Ninkovich. What can you tell me right now? If you're a Bears player, how are you feeling right now?
Just like the Bears fans, I'm like this. Come on. All right, another year where defense, we got to go score. They're going to be 8-8 again. They're going to be a 500 team. They're not going to win the division with Andy Dalton. So if you're a defender, if you're in your 7th, 8th year, you're with the Bears right now, you're asking, hey, can I get out of here? Can I go somewhere else so where I can compete for a championship? Because when you're signing Andy Dalton to one-year contracts, you're not telling me that we're in this thing to win a Super Bowl. You're not telling me that. So defensively, they've had a top 5 defense the last 3 years, 4 years. So their offense has been bottom of the league. So they need to go out there and make some moves at the quarterback, receiver position. They need to have an offense that reflects the defense that they've had for a while. Because if you're a defender, you're a little bit upset about this move. You want to see a Russell Wilson. You want to see them go out and get somebody that you feel confident in. Because Andy Dalton, 5 years ago, yeah, okay, he was manageable. Now you're like, I don't know. I don't know if he's the guy anymore, especially after what you saw last year with the Cowboys.
Well, but you bring up a really important point here is that defense has been so good that this is a team that was in the playoffs last year. They're picking 20th for a reason. So they're not bad enough to be down there in the area where you make that kind of a splash move in the draft. And so, Diana, the name Russell Wilson will continue to hover above the Chicago Bears until one thing or another happens. What should we be reading into that?
What else is hovering over the Chicago Bears is the job status of Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy here, right? So essentially, they're on a one-year deal here, and they're going to ride their career on the back of Andy Dalton, QB1 at this point. There's no way that they think that that's going to be something that can save their job. So the door is open. This isn't something that people are just speculating about. We know. I've been talking to enough people that say that the Bears aren't taking this off the table. They don't have pictures of Andy Dalton stuck all over the wall and changing the way that building looks, saying he's the guy. It's just going to come down to whether or not this deal can come together. And if John Schneider, the GM of the Seattle Seahawks, even wants to get this deal done, the problem this whole time, Mike, has been Seattle hasn't figured out the answer at quarterback if they were to deal Russell. So until they can figure it out, and I don't think they're going to think Andy Dalton's the answer, they ain't moving on Russell Wilson until they figure that out.
That's fair. Look, if you're looking for an answer at quarterback, Chicago is the last place in the world you would ever look because they haven't had one in 101 years of their history. And so, Chris Canty, let me come to you on that basic thought. The social media team puts out the QB1 post yesterday. The world goes crazy. The Bears, we think, are still trying to find a way to get themselves Russell Wilson. How do you see the whole thing?
Well, they have to find a quarterback other than Andy Dalton because if he's QB1 for all 16, Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace ain't going to make it through the season. So, I mean, they've got to find a way to be able to upgrade the position, and I'm not sure whether that's being able to pull off something leading up to the draft or whether some quarterbacks become available after the draft with teams that have already decided to upgrade that position. I just feel like with where they're at right now, they have the worst quarterback situation in the division. And that's really where they were last year, but you can make an argument that 2021 would be worse because Andy Dalton last year, with better weapons than Mitch Trubisky, had a worse QBR. So I just don't understand why they were in a rush to sign Andy Dalton and give him a $10 million contract when the quarterback that had him in the playoffs a year ago just signed in Buffalo for $2.5 million.
Not only that, but I mean, there's no reason to go over this again. But for those who are not really well versed in this, the Bears made the aggressive move to take Mitchell Trubisky. What every team in the NFL does is then try as hard as they can to justify that. They're the one team that went the other way. They're the one team that could not wait to give up on that, despite how bad the trade winds up being, because they took him ahead of Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. We all know that. We've been down that road a million times. But you're exactly right. Moving on from Trubisky is the opposite of what it seems every other team in the NFL would have done.
Yeah, they made a change for change's sake. There's no way that they think that Andy Dalton is an upgrade over Mitchell Trubisky. And so you would think that the general manager that actually made the decision to draft Mitch would have kept with him for one more year until he found a better alternative. He went out and he found a worse alternative, and he paid more money for it. Makes no sense.
No. And then social media went nuts last night when the Bears put that tweet out. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.